Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take source material from one listener and, well, we try to pull out the key insights to get you up to speed fast.
Exactly. Shortcut you to be well-informed on something specific.
And today, wow, we're diving into a really fascinating new concept that came up in the materials.
Yeah, what have we got?
It's this vision for something called AI Publicity Express and storytelling sonic growth.
Okay, interesting names. Where's this coming from?
Well, the source material details this concept developed by Mike Hayes. He's a two-time Peabody Award winner, researcher, documentarian, background at NBC.
Right, so someone with a deep media background.
Exactly. And he describes his vision as a living, breathing media ecosystem.
Ambitious.
Yeah. So our mission today is really to unpack this, to see how AI could, amplify individual voices, grow communities exponentially.
And spread this message he talks about. Praising love over fear.
That's the one, transforming networking into like a narrative force. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, where does it start?
So it actually kicks off with this really intriguing question from Mike Hayes himself. He asks about, what are they? Those little Chinese mystery cups or balls or containers where the smallest one is inside, then a bigger one's outside, and you keep opening it and it keeps getting smaller.
Ah, okay. I think I know what he means.
Right. And it seems that this initial thought, it wasn't just random, it became pretty profound.
It really does sound like it. But the key thing is, this request wasn't just idle curiosity. It was the foundational metaphor for this much bigger idea he was working on.
Okay, so that makes sense. From nesting containers to business networking, how did that aha moment happen? How did he connect that visual to sonic growth of business networking events?
Well, he saw it as a blueprint for a scalable storytelling system.
Scalable storytelling using AI.
Exactly. Using AI-generated advertorials. Think of them as these dynamic, maybe short video scripts or audio clips crafted by AI to capture a group's vibe, their essence.
Okay.
And the goal is to amplify and, crucially, fuse communities together.
Fuse them.
We'll get to that. But he actually came up with several working titles for this system, which is interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like what?
Things like compounding communities, sonic growth pods, even AI fusion funnels.
Wow. Lots of variations on the theme.
And his own term, ChatGPT networking channels, which probably refers to the AI tools or platforms used to connect people or automate outreach.
Right. So this core metaphor, it sounds cool, but how does it work? What's this fusion part?
Yeah, the fusion is key. Imagine you captured the story, the essence, of a small, tight-knit networking group using one of these AI advertorials. That's your smallest container.
Okay, the inner doll.
Exactly. Then you take that story, that container, and you place it inside a slightly larger one, maybe a bigger group, an industry event.
And you capture their story, too.
Yes, and you fuse them. The AI helps weave these narratives together. So each layer isn't just bigger, it contains the essence of the ones inside it.
Ah, I see. So it's community within community, story within story.
Signal inside a louder broadcast. Precisely. And that's what he means by sonic growth.
Okay, explain that more. Sonic growth.
It's not just about numbers, not just getting bigger. It's about growing in resonance, reach,
Yeah.
the depth of the connections.
So like the quality of the growth, not just the quantity.
Exactly. Think of a single voice, strong on its own, then another joins, harmonizing, then more.
Yeah.
It becomes richer, fuller, more impactful. A symphony, not just shouting louder.
That's a great analogy. A symphony of connection.
It's about the message multiplying its, let's say, emotional and relational footprint.
Okay, that helps a lot. So practically speaking, how does someone do this? What are the steps?
Well, the beauty is, it seems quite practical. The advice is to start small.
Right.
Record an AI-generated advertorial for a small, maybe local group.
And really capture the essence, you said.
Yes. Highlight the people, their purpose, the vibe, what makes them unique.
Okay, then?
Then you scale up, move to a larger group, maybe regional or industry-specific, record them, and then you fuse the stories. The AI helps blend these narratives.
And that's the compounding the message part.
Exactly. Each new layer includes the previous ones.
Yeah.
So that local group story travels with the larger narrative. It builds, like that nesting doll of human connection.
A growing story.
This evolving fused story is then broadcast out through these ChatGPT networking channels he mentions.
And the effect is?
It empowers the individual. Everyone involved becomes part of something bigger, their voice amplified, but hopefully without getting lost in the crowd.
So what Mike's really designing here is this living, breathing media ecosystem. And the source actually says, AI is the storyteller, people are the content, networking becomes narrative.
And growth is exponential and emotional.
Yeah.
It's a powerful framing.
And what's really interesting for you listening to this is seeing AI framed not just for like efficiency or automation.
Right. It's being positioned as a catalyst for human connection, for value creation that's centered on people and their stories.
Yeah, it flips the script on typical networking, which can feel transactional. This seems more organic, story-driven.
It really makes you reconsider what digital interaction could be about.
You mentioned an analogy earlier, like compounding interest.
Yes. It's like compounding interest, but instead of money, it's human stories, human connection.
So the return on investment isn't just dollars.
Exactly. The return is belonging, empowerment, visibility for everyone. It challenges how we even define ROI in this digital age, doesn't it?
It really does. Compounding human stories. I like that. Okay, but something this, well, conceptual. How do you show it? How did Mike visualize this? The sources mentioned visuals for a demonstration kit.
They did. And the evolution is quite telling. Initially, he played around with names for the kit, like the nesting story kit, the sonic growth box.
Sticking with the early metaphors.
Right. But then he refined it, moved away from literal nesting dolls, which might feel a bit quaint.
Maybe a bit limiting.
Perhaps. He shifted towards more traditional business growth symbols, like interconnected circles expanding outwards.
Okay.
Starting from a single empowered individual, expanded to a community, then wider state, nation, eventually the globe, showing that potential for unlimited organic growth.
So that refinement led to the final concept, the AI Publicity Express with nesting storytelling sonic growth.
That's the one. And the final visual is pretty specific.
Describe it. What does it look like?
It shows an individual literally sparking growth. This leads to nested circles representing the groups, all contained within a globe.
Okay, growth within a global context.
But the key addition is these exploding sonic growth circles radiating inside the globe.
Ah, the sonic part visualized.
Exactly. It's meant to symbolize the power, the force of that individual voice spreading that message, praising love locally and globally, creating this undeniable echoing effect.
That visual makes the sonic growth idea much clearer. It's not just expanding, it's resonating outward with force.
Precisely. It captures the reach and the impact.
Okay, so we've got the concept, the origin, how it works, how it's visualized. But how do you actually get this out there? How do you scale this vision? What's the strategic playbook?
Well, the source material does outline a pretty robust media strategy for scaling AI, Publicity Express, and nesting storytelling sonic growth, both locally and globally.
And is there like a core message for that strategy, a tagline?
There is. The overarching vision is summed up as from one voice to global impact AI-powered storytelling that echoes love, scales connection, and compounds community.
That packs a punch, very concise.
It really captures the essence.
And what about the channels? How would you actually execute this?
The recommendations cover a lot of ground. They suggest, for instance, a short-form video series. Think Reels, TikTok, Shorts.
Ah, perfect for showing that quick compounding effect visually.
Exactly. Show the sonic boom in action. Then, an interactive web experience or maybe a microsite.
Where people could, click through the layers, experience the nesting?
That seems to be the idea. Make it tangible. Also, in AI-powered podcast series, they even suggest a title like Voices That Echo.
Makes total sense. Audio is the perfect metaphor for sonic growth and echoing.
Absolutely. And then, maybe more traditional but still powerful, a magazine feature or digital zine. They mention Loving AI magazine specifically.
Using that core graphic and maybe case studies?
Yes. And finally, targeting business leaders. LinkedIn carousel posts combined with a networking campaign.
Positioning it as a real, scalable growth strategy for businesses or organizations.
Right, showing the practical application beyond just community building.
And underpinning all these channels must be some core messages, right? Strategic pillars.
Definitely. The source outlines 4 key pillars. First, empowerment.
Okay.
The message here is powerful. You don't need a platform. You are the platform.
I like that. Very individual-centric.
Second, scalability. Simple and direct. One story, nested, amplified, echoed.
Captures the whole process.
Third, and this feels central to Mike Case's vision, love over fear.
Right. That came up earlier.
The message is, AI isn't replacing us, it's revealing us. It suggests using this system to build positive connections, overcome division.
That's a profound angle on AI's role.
Yeah. And finally, community fusion. From solo to symphony, this is how we grow.
Back to that symphony analogy.
Very evocative.
It ties it all together nicely.
So bringing this all together, what really strikes me is the potential here. It's seeing AI not just as, a cold tool for efficiency.
Right. But as a potential vehicle for real human connection. For amplifying stories in a way that turns individual voices into potentially global movements, especially movements rooted in this idea of love over fear.
It absolutely reframes the narrative around AI and growth.
Yeah.
It's less about automation replacing us and more about technology potentially enhancing our ability to connect and share meaningful narratives.
It really challenges traditional ideas about media, networking, publicity.
Absolutely. And as we always say, knowledge is great, but understanding and applying it is where the value lies. This deep dive, I think, really highlights how looking at an idea from different angles, like Hayes did, starting with that simple nesting doll query,
Yeah.
can illuminate some truly innovative approaches. It's about connecting dots in new ways
Definitely food for thought. It's about growth and connection, but powered differently.
and focused on, ultimately, human-centric expansion.
So for you listening, as we wrap up, maybe here's a final thought to chew on.
Go for it.
How might you take these principles, this nesting, storytelling, sonic growth, this AI Publicity Express, and apply them? How could you use them to amplify a message you care about and create your own kind of ripple effect, your own sonic growth of connection in the world?